The Commonwealth is back, baby, as few people have been able to say. Actually, no one has been able to say that, but I bet a lot of people would want to be able to say that. Anyway, welcome back to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth here in Victoria 2, playing the Napoleon's Legacy mod. And we have won the war with Prussia, and we have to, well, get our nation up to scratch now. I've used that expression too many times before, but one more time, can't hurt too much. We can actually recruit a lot of units, 13 different brigades of various sorts, that we could call into action at the moment. But since we have a truce with Prussia and we have an economy that needs to grow up again, I think that we should just wait for example, the war exhaustion to fall down and, oh, the end of the revolution, wonderful. So we got some extra prestige from that. And now we're actually a secondary power, which is wonderful to see. For very, well, there's many reasons to view that as wonderful. Our population is starting to grow a little bit, even though a lot of people are emigrating to both South Africa and the United States of America. I do love that people are starting to emigrate to South Africa now again, since usually it's only the Americans. The literacy gain is not the best in the world, but we are currently focused on getting our bureaucracy up so we can get some more taxes and stabilize our economy. Since right now we have to make quite a few concessions when it comes to education and everything really, due to lack of money flowing into the coffers. Without our tariffs, we would be running a deficit at the moment, or at least very close to it. Could lower our military spending a little bit more, but we need the men. We definitely need the men. Social spendings, we need to have them up as well, about this much. We could lower them a little bit, but it wouldn't earn us too many coins. We could lower them to 65% for just a few more per day, because that will grow the treasury for us. Even if it's only 1 or 2 or 3, I guess it's pounds that is used in the game, which makes sense considering the time period. A day, it grows over time. And since we are only having, well, 27 plus per day, that's a few percentage more of more money coming in. Could go for private bank money bill printing. Private bank money bill printing would increase our administrative efficiency as well as 3% tax efficiency. 3% tax efficiency would be nice to have. But what else is nice to have? There's a lot of things that are really nice to have, and a lot of things that we do not have. State and government would be nice to have due to plurality increases. We don't really care for mission to civilize, since we're not going to really colonize too much. Let's be honest. Factory throughput is not really what we will focus on at the moment. Would be nice to have biologism is unlocked 1850, which is 2 years away from now. So we could probably get private bank money bill printing and then go straight into empiricism. No, wait, actually empiricism 1860. Straight into biologism, so we can get that up. And that should be fine. And since we are getting a bit more money now, we can increase education to 70%, so we can get that up. How's it going with encourage bureaucrats? State administrative efficiency, that's not too good. This is in Posen over here. Split between German and Polish populations. 46.8% state administrative efficiency, but it's growing, albeit slowly. Okay, we can push through a political reform at the moment. Could go for political rights, which would be wonderful. Increase assimilation rate, which is nice. Immigrant attraction, which doesn't really matter to us too much, except perhaps limit the amount of people leaving us. And no one here that is really needed. This one would be good as well, but okay, let's go for all allowed rights. It's a good one. I can see nothing wrong with taking it. Our army at the moment is deprioritized quite heavily. We should probably disband undermanned brigades. Since we don't really need them at the moment, we probably have to reform the army completely. In order to lower the amount of cost, perhaps we should... Okay, let's get rid of the hussars, which are damaged goods. And keep the one that is good. Let's get rid of the artillery and everyone that is in any way undersupplied or undermanned or whatever you call them. There we go. Delete them. That should lower our expenses a little bit at least. and allow us to increase our administrative efficiency to about 65, or administrative spending to 65%. Right now, our country administrative efficiency at 53%. So we need to get that up. For maximum administrative efficiency, we need at least 1.3% bureaucrats. And this kind of goes hand to hand in our efforts to curb it. Because the more money we can spend, the more people will be encouraged to actually pick up the torch and become bureaucrats of various sorts. Might be a boring as hell job for a lot of people, but it needs to be done. Plus, it's a kind of a cozy job, I gotta say. Imagine like if you could pick between sitting behind a desk, writing a lot, and stamping some things on papers or whatever bureaucrats do. Now I'm showing my ignorance of the bureaucrat profession, but anyway. Or work in a steel mill under harsh circumstances, 16 hours a day, and basically coming home to get complained on, and then go to work again, and perhaps lose your arm one day because for some reason they hadn't tucked away this horrible thing. Anyway, this would be a terrible job to work in the steel mill. I would rather do the cozy bureaucratic job of sitting in an office, doing things ineffectively most of the day. So there's most of the bureaucrat stereotypes out of the way. Most of them at least. Let's see here. As much as I want to build more troops, as I mentioned before, it's not really the best time. Right now we should really be blazing through time. It's not really much that we can add. We're waiting for some technologies to be done, more bureaucrats to be produced or encouraged. In fact, how about we just get that up to 80%? 80%. Actually, just throw it up to the top. Maximize spending, so we get it done as soon as possible, so we can move on to doing intellectuals soon. While we do keep over 2%, we just need more intellectuals overall. We need our literacy to be booming, and we need to be able to spend things on it. We have no movements, and we have this one again. And since I'm a fan of proportional representativism, perhaps we should move towards it. I mean, it makes very little difference in our case. But I'm not a fan of the first past the post method, even if it's only in a game and it doesn't matter too much. Okay, so we reached 1% bureaucracy in Masovia, and that should probably be able to handle itself henceforth. In Brest-Litovsk, they don't have anyone doing anything when it comes to bureaucrats, so we can take the Masovian one away and focus on that. We are reaching the cap over here in West Galicia, so we should probably move that one then to Pinsk, I believe. Pinsk doesn't have... Actually, it has a fairly decent state administrative efficiency. So which one doesn't? Polish-Lithuania has 100%. Oh, here we go. Polish-Lithuania... Polish-Lithuanian Podylia is probably the next one in the line. Yeah, so now we can take the one away from West Galicia, it was, yeah. And increase it over here. And that should increase our administrative efficiency fairly nice. I wonder how is it in... Oh, West Poison is doing terrible in that regard. So the next one that becomes available will go to West Poison. I don't really know. Why did the Prussians mistreat our land so badly over here in West Prussia? They don't deserve to hold it. Jacobin rebels is holding Königsberg though. Don't see them going anywhere else, so I'm assuming they're just very content in standing in Königsberg. Oh, Rheinbund has formed. Holy shit, they are pretty big. And they are not under the French Republic like we are. We are under French protection. But in a case of war against Austria, the Rheinbund and the Kingdom of Italy would assist Austria. And that's a very powerful bloc. Just look at the borders of this whole thing. It is really darn big. That would be dangerous as hell for us. So I hope that doesn't come to pass. What is coming to pass though is German pan-nationalists. If they join up with Rheinbund, that would be dangerous. Not only for me, but okay, but it would be good to get rid of Prussia, Austria, so there would be more like 4 factions. Or 3 factions, technically. I don't really count myself as one. So we'd have the French Empire, we would have the United Germany, and then we had Austria. A bit like how it is in regular Victoria 2. Mobilization impact minus 5%. That is good. War exhaustion is dropping, which is good. That increases our everything, really, getting rid of it. We're only, I'm guessing, 23 months away from having rid of it entirely. So what will we go for now? Well, we will go for biologism soon, so we should save up the remaining points. It's only a couple of days away. More like a week now. Happy New Year! And now we will go for... We'll find Darwin and employ him. Have they taken Berlin? They are close. They have taken Berlin. The pan-nationalists have taken Berlin. One waiting to see what happens from it. Maybe Prussia will turn itself into Germany without anyone else joining in. Perhaps not. No one is caring, so let's go for non-secret ballots. Since we have a native liberal government. Well, native liberal majority anyway. Now they managed to save Berlin only for it to be taken back by them. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm starting to miss here. I'm starting to slip. This is in Posen. Let's get West Prussia up to speed. As you can see, even with the increased investment here in administration, the increased basically effectiveness that we can collect taxes and everything from the bureaucrats is increasing our economy anyway. So we will get education up to 80%. Actually, we could probably get it up to 100%. And our economy is actually doing pretty darn well at the moment. Which is surprising in many ways. Considering the part where it was before. And with the decreased war exhaustion constantly, our economy will actually be at a fairly decent place very soon. We can even up the military spending. Well, we can, but it's not really a big point in doing it. 70% is fine for now. And it seems that Prussia has actually managed to quell the rebellion after all. And there's a war against Egypt. Russia against Egypt. Why? Russian intervention in Egypt. Demand Egypt. This is going to look horrible on the map, won't it? Yeah, this is not going to be nice. This is not going to be pretty. Russia is extremely aggressive and territorially ambitious. Which is disgusting in so many ways. Tanutuva already. I like Tanutuva. It's such a random country. Such a random country is placed there. All of a sudden. Maybe we should increase our spending on land. Just so they can reinforce more. Because at the moment some of these, I'm assuming due to lack of materials, haven't reinforced. At the pace they should. And in Brest they already have state efficiency up. So who doesn't have it? There's one and it's working on it. Everyone else is starting to reach the level they need to be at. So, instead of going for that, perhaps we will go for intellectuals then. That's actually at a rather good place too. Intellectuals here then. That's a good place too for it to be. Here. Oh, there we go. So in the easternmost territories here in Pinsk, they don't really have many intellectuals. I feel bad for the Belarusians who have been neglected under the current government. We can just increase the speed to the highest level and wait for things to happen. Here in West Preussen, the bureaucracy is actually reaching about the levels that they need to be in. Somewhat, at least. We need even more. Interesting. I didn't think it would be that bad. Do we have any things that we can, well, push our claim on? Well, we can push our claim on this area over here with Breslau, which is a good thing, really. We could stake a claim on our own without having cores on Galicia-Lodomeria, which would be a reasonable thing to do, all things considered. It's a rich land, it has a lot of people living in it, and it has a pretty big Polish population. In all ways, it would make sense to take it back under our fold. Literacy is increasing quite rapidly, and the state efficiency is only 85%. I wonder why they need so goddamn many bureaucrats over here. I bet it will tell me. Non-core provinces in state, minus 10%. Oh. So we don't have a core on some of these areas, and that's why the state administrative efficiency is so low. Interesting. Very interesting. But we will remedy that anyway, and then we will turn it over to making us some intellectuals. There we go. And intellectuals it will be. Get that up. And I feel our country is evolving quite rapidly, though we are now only a civilized nation, having dropped down from our, well, previous 15th place, which is unfortunate, but we can't really do much about it. We actually have a fairly big population for our nation, admittedly. And this army is actually pretty good. It's not the standard army that I would use, but it's good enough. It's good enough. And Warsaw is not as isolated as it is now with the increased borders over here. So we will make another army. We will have Polish people over here, and then we will have some Ukrainians in the back with the artillery, I know, and Germans. This is dangerous though. Placing our faith with the Germans and everyone else to be nice to us, and then some extra infantry to just shore up the front in case we lose too many. Actually, the biggest source for our military power is, or our biggest source for points is military power, which is interesting. We don't really have much in anything else. No, we don't want to lose intellectuals. But the Rheinbund, that's a very, very powerful nation, or potentially powerful. At least now it's being contained by Austria, but this, this nation could be far, far stronger than Austria itself. And perhaps that is what we will see soon enough. With their industrial base growing quite rapidly, they're actually the 4th greatest country in the world for industry. And speaking of industry, as much as I would love to go for industry, I think increasing our military standing would be better, because we have hostile environment. We are still sandwiched between 3 major nations, though one of them is severely weakened by now. But we still have Austria, and then we have Russia, who are in love with each other and allied, presumably to kill me. So that is, yeah, we still need to be able to protect ourselves, definitely. We have a potato blight, and we will unfortunately lose 1/6 of all of our points in order to localize it only in Calais. Where is Calais again? Why can't I find Calais? There we go. There it is. Here is the potato blight. Which is... it sucks. It makes people die, and everyone else is kind of moving away. But despite that, we are growing in population. Even though some are moving out now to New England, South Africa, the British Empire. How's it going for the British Empire anyway? Should probably lower the speed so it doesn't tear as much in the screen. United States have a big war. Wait, what is this? Is this? Oh, the British Empire is actually involved in this war. So what war is it anyway? It is the Mexican-American War, and the British Empire, Mexico, and Gran Colombia is fighting the Americans in it. Interesting. I wonder how it will go. I'm assuming the United States will win. But Gran Colombia is involved in it. Could go either way, really. Argentina is doing Argentinian things, which is not really a lot at the moment. Hyderabad, Bengal, and the French Empire. French India. Can we stop with... Okay, this one loses prestige. Not acceptable. Bengal. Why would Bengal be over there as well? No! Don't do that. Okay, sure, our income now suddenly just exploded in money. But don't do that anyway. Please. We want to be protected by the French. I don't want to be under Russian protection. I don't even know what accent that was. It certainly wasn't Russian. Protect us, France. I mean, yes, France. Protect us against the Russians. Everyone is involved here. Trying to... Well, actually, all our neighbors are. Army. Let's go for army plans. This is concerning, the current environment. It's very concerning. Get our military up ASAP. And for some reason, in Polish-Lithuanian Polish-Lithuania, it's going worse with getting the administrative efficiency up. We actually have 100% now. And we have more, probably, than we need. So we should cut back on the administration in order to curb it. There we go. And by now we should have our exhaustion done. Wonderful. This is wonderful in every way. We have 39,000 men ready, which is good. Now we have actually a fairly strong army. And we could get more soldiers. And we could get engineers as well. Okay, so we will eliminate the one that is damaged. We will also get rid of one of the infantry ones. There we go. So now it is 7 and 6. Okay, so we will need to get rid of one of the artillery ones. No, okay, I have it. We will get 2 engineers, 1 hussar. So 1 hussar and 1 engineer for this army under Stefan Khrushchevsky. And then 1 engineer to Antoni Konopzinski. Definitely. Definitely. But it's weird being someone's pawn in a larger game instead of being the one using pawns in your own game. Because we are basically just now a nation that everyone else is walking over and staking their claims in. No one really cares for us too much one way or another. It's more to expand your own influence. Then again, that's always the case with geopolitics, I assume. No one's really going to do you anything for, you know, your gain. It's all for them. It's always been for them. Okay, intellectuals over here in Podylia as well. And it's still with the whole election thing. I thought that was over. Maybe there's a new election. Can't keep up these days. Time just flies by due to development. Certain parts in Victoria 2, and that's kind of the challenge of doing Victoria 2 videos to begin with, and actually all of these kind of videos, is that sometimes there's just not a lot happening. There's nothing wrong really with not a lot happening. It's just kind of the way the games are, but it makes it a bit harder sometimes to find things to say and find things to show. Had I been a better person, I would probably have edited some parts out, but let's face it, I'm quite lazy. Well, you're stuck with all of this. With the intellectuals about done, we still actually, despite the fact that we have so many liberals, this part is winning anyway. I'm assuming under the help from the reactionaries. Because together the liberals are 48% of the populace, 48% of the voters, and 50% of the upper house, actually. Almost 50%. Barely. Like, so close to having 50%. So very, very close. Okay. Let's get military plans done. What will we do after military plans? It's 1854. Nothing is really going to unlock. We could go for army decision making or improve our artillery. Artillery would be nice. And strategic mobility. If we get a base level of having tier 2 on everything, that would be pretty good for the future. We could compare and gauge our need in this. If we have here, they have 6 in army tech, which is not that good, but they have so many men. So many men. The Austrians, on the other hand, have 6 as well. So we're doing better than them. We have 8. So we're not doing too much better, but still doing better. These guys have 7. So the Prussians, we could declare war on them as again. Would the French help? They would accept. Go for Prussian Silesia. How many men does the Prussians have at the moment? They have 27, which is less than I have. So that's a thing. That's a thing that could happen. Getting Silesia. Who else has a stake in Silesia? Only the Prussians at the moment, except for... Oh, that's us. Whew. I thought it was the Austrians, which would make it a more dangerous venture. But we always have that opportunity to get all of Silesia. We always have that opportunity. So there's no need to really rush it at the moment. Oh, hopefully that doesn't involve anyone in Europe. Does it? No, okay. We will join. The only problem with that is that now the French will be a bit preoccupied, so we will have to shelve our plans for taking Silesia. As I mentioned, there's no rush. We will get it. It is ours. Katowice, Oppeln, Breslau, Liegnitz, all ours. All ours. Intellectuals is now up to 2.8%. And one of these is a bit too high. Pinsk is a bit too high. We should go to Posen. And replace there. There we go. We can have some intellectuals there as well. Increase it everywhere so it will be a nice, evenly spread mix. Our tariffs are high and we have an alliance with Sweden, which would be helpful against the damn French. No, not the French, the Russians. They're attacking Manchuria. Oh god, are they going to take that as well? Did it take anything in Egypt? They didn't. Wonderful. Wonderful. That eases my heart. So maybe they just took that for the Ottoman Empire instead. Which is good. Because it seemed like they would take stuff from Egypt and put it in Russian hands, which would make the map look horrible. It's utterly terrible. Or should we go to war? Will they accept? They will accept. Sweden will not accept, so we would probably have to do it one by one. Plus they have the Swiss Confederacy under their hand. Or the Swiss Republic or whatever it is. And that would be dangerous. I mean, is it really negotiate an unequal treaty? I suppose that... What does that even mean? Okay. That's interesting. Unequal treaty. I suppose there's information about what it means when you... if you have actually get the event yourself. Oh, we got up to secondary power again. Interesting. We only have one more there. 6,292 research points. Oh, I didn't even know that. I did not know that. How did I not know that? Cost modifier from years known. I had no idea that even existed. Interesting. How did I not know this? I've played this game for I don't know how many years. I have played this game for X amount of centuries at this point. And I had no bloody clue that was in there. That's intriguing. You learn something new every day. Equality plus 5%. Interesting. Well, equality, that's due to our nation value is equality. Equality for everyone. And a look at that literacy now, when we got the Darwinism. That's why it's so powerful. Our literacy will just boom like crazy from this. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Anyway, I think this is a pretty good time to wrap it up. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, even though it's been mostly us rebuilding from the war that we suffered with Prussia. Next time perhaps we will go to war against Prussia again. I mean, we have Silesia, we might as well take it. There's no point in waiting really for it, and then we will do a rapid industrialization as soon as our literacy reaches over 50%. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.